What's up, people? Akcope speaking. So there's been a change to WoW cross-realm mechanics recently, which made me really excited. But soon after, I've realized a fact that made me very sad. And that's why I'm here, making a video about it. So this change, which came with Legion, concerns Orgrimmar and Stormwind no longer being exclusive to their realms. Basically, since Cataclysm until the end of Warlords, you could not transfer to another realm in these capital cities, even if you were in a group with a person from that realm. But now you can. So why do I care so much about this? Well, a big part of what I did in Vanilla, TBC, Wrath, and a bit even Cataclysm and Mob, was raiding Orgrimmar. PvP raids. Sometimes I would just drop from the auction house roof and kill 1 to 2 horde before ultimately getting overwhelmed and dying. That was like me soloing that. But other times we would do it in a group. Whether it was 3 people, 5, 20 or 40. It did not matter. The plan was always the same. Kill as many horde players as you can and then die and run the long corpse run. Rinse, repeat. And these corpse runs, these very, very long corpse runs, never discouraged me from going back. I gladly undertook them just to have a bit of PvP fun, as did many others. Sometimes I would lead these raids, full raids, 40 people, and we would just spend all night in Orgrimmar. Like, we started at 7 PM, and at 3 AM we were still there. We were still going strong, at least 10-15 of us. Sometimes we would enter a hut near the Horde auction house in Orgrimmar, and we would just defend it for as long as we could. And we did this on almost a daily basis back then, and we just generally had fun and loved it. I also organized these huge PvP events, where the whole server would get together and have hundreds of people face against each other. The attendance was massive. There were so many people, it even made the server crash a few times before we moved from Orgrimmar to other locations. And I did have a lot of these events. And they sometimes took over 4 hours. And all people would do was kill each other during these events. And boy, was it fun. But since the realm population decreased in Mists of Pandaria, I could no longer get as many people for Orgrimmar raids or events, so I looked from people from other realms. However, they were not able to enter Orgrimmar, so this change effectively killed Orgrimmar PvP raiding on my realm back in Cataclysm, but it only showed in Mists of Pandaria. So all you could do with people from different realms was to PvP in Durotar and watch people, like, watch the horde players disappear into the city as they zoned. So you could not chase them unless you were on the same server. So sometime during Mists of Pandaria, I stopped organizing these raids because of this. And that's why when this change came with Legion, I was really, really happy. I could do Orgrimmar raids again. So I set up a group in the group finder and asked around in guild, asked all my friends, and even in the trade channel. But after 20 minutes, I had no one. I didn't have a single person. The only people who were interested in joining my group were cross-realm hoppers. I was surprised and confused because normally I could get an Orgrimmar raid 40 people strong within an hour. So not having a single person was really shocking. But in the end, I did not think much of it. I tried again the next day. Nothing. Exact same scenario. And again, and again, and again, and again. And then I just sort of gave up eventually. After that, I asked my guildies, the very people I used to do these Orgrimmar raids with, and I asked them why were they so busy, why don't they want to go? And their response was, I'm doing Mythic Plus, I'm farming World Quest for AP, I need to get my old gear, I'm farming rep, etc, etc. And then I asked myself, why are these people doing the activities they don't sound like they enjoy? I mean, a few minutes later, I hear what a drag it is to farm Mythic Plus for legendaries and AP. So why are these people doing this instead of just having fun in the world like they used to? I mean, I know these people. These are the exact same people who used to do this stuff with me, so I know they like it. But I mean, this does not apply just to Orgrimmar raids. There were so many other activities, social activities, that people used to do, like dueling outside of capital cities, just having fun and chatting, generally world PvPing. I don't know. I mean, in vanilla, I was in this guild, and we had this event, a weekly event. This was not on an RP realm or anything, by the way, but we would pick up the parachutes in Feralas from this NPC, and then we would just go to Teldrassil, and we would drop down to this little place with Furbolg huts, and we would chat for hours. Hours upon hours, like 2 to 3 hours, sometimes even longer. And we did this every week. We even had a name for it. We called it the Skydiving Thursday. It was the same every time, just having random in-game fun, fooling around, interacting with others. And to be honest, to me, that is what MMOs are about. So why don't we see this anymore? Why do we no longer see this great construct of social interaction and fun outside of raiding? Why don't people just get up and explore the world, for example? That's what we used to do as well. I had this event where we would run from Darkshore to Silithus. From Darkshore to Silithus without mounts. It took like 2 hours or something to complete this whole endeavor. But dozens attended and actually ran the whole way. They actually remained for the whole duration of the event. And we got all the way to the gates of AQ. Now you can't even get 5 people for this kind of stuff. That makes me really sad. And I think the reason for this is the general mindset nowadays. People just feel the need to rush content. People feel the need to get it done. They want to get the best gear and log out. Once they get the best gear, they're done for the patch, and they go do something else. Play a different game or something. And this almost becomes a chore. It becomes a chore, doesn't it? But, as it turns out, in Legion, you can't do this. In Legion, you can't do this. There's this insane RNG on loot, like Titan Forged gear, or whatever, and AP takes ages to farm, and people feel the need to get the correct legendaries, and then there's this insanely farm honor system, etc, etc. And people just want this reward. But once they get it, there's another one. Better item level, sockets, better stat distribution, whatever. The grind goes on. And it becomes a job. It becomes a second job for them, basically. Like, if you played Black Desert Online, for example, then you know that there's no level cap in that game. And that game's amazing, by the way. It's a great sandbox/theme park mix MMO. But soon after release of this game, I'm reading people are quitting it. People are quitting the game. So I want to know the reason. And it turns out people are burning out. They are burning out playing a game. You're supposed to relax playing a game, if you ask me. Games are supposed to be like this. Just, you come home after work or university or whatever, and you just turn this on and you just relax, chill out. and you recharge for the next day. So this is not being done in MMOs nowadays, apparently. And is this the developer's fault? I don't think so. I think it has to do with the mindset of MMO players nowadays, with the general mindset. And you can really see this in Alterac Valley. You remember old AV? Those 30 plus hour long games with thousands of kills, where you could go to sleep one day and join the same AV in the morning? These were good old times when AV was designed to be fought in and not rushed through, right? Surely if one was to reintroduce the game with AV as it was back then, we would have these long games again, right? Well, unfortunately, this is false. Nowadays, there are many private vanilla servers with AV exactly as it was back then. All the values are the same. The NPC health, NPC numbers, types of NPCs, NPC damage, everything is exactly the same. And what do people do in these AVs? They rush. The game is over in the matter of minutes. Well, people do need that sweet reputation for that Don Julius band, don't they? And sometimes you even get 10 honorable kills along the way. Oh, so that's that. So really, what can be done about this? I would say the first step is to arrive at the realization that this is a problem. Only then can something be done about it. And that's even if you see it as a problem, I guess. I don't know. I personally don't enjoy farming Mythic Plus over and over. And I think Blizzard sort of sees this as well in a way, in a special Blizzard way. Like, micro holidays, for example, are a great thing that the devs have done to contribute to combat this. Or the Margot fishing retreat is a great feature as well. But you can really see this reward-driven mindset that has been hammered into people. And it seems like it almost can't be reverted. In many players' case, as soon as they see that there's no reward for the micro holidays, they just instantly lose interest. I mean, you already have 700 pets. Do you really need another one? Oh, just think about that. In conclusion, I think the only way for this to be fixed is to start a movement of sorts. A movement of people that start groups for fun activities in their group finder and join such groups as well. So anyway, I would love it if you could tell me what you think about this in the comments. Is it a problem, or do you enjoy doing Mythic Plus over and over? Are you enjoying the current state of the game? I mean, I heard from others that they at least do love the challenge that Mythic Plus brings. So I would love to know if there are others who share my sentiment or if it's just me. And with that, I'll see you soon. Akcope out.